Go, they go crazy. They go crazy. They go crazy. They go crazy. Go, go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the old to go crazy like a dum-dum. East side homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is OOO City. All the way to the bay, hit the base for me. Catch a case cause it's beating up your Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting out sweaty. Make it work it, work it, work it out. Turn the volume up loud. This a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Got you all in the frenzy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. They tear the words and fools turn the subs up. Everybody hands high like a drug bust. Yeah, I'm feeling the best. Don't you get the dubs up. Baptize him on the spot, fill the tubs up. I crap nine, stick the blocks, tell him fill the cups up. The show though, original, the type is proto. I go, crazy, yeah, loco, it's solo. The coach, I represent the Ocho. The mercy in the devil, versus devil in the choco. Either I'm leaving more than that. But when they see him tap out, they go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the
Yes, sir. What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. It is 8:04 and it is time for the scoop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for tuning in with us on this fine Tuesday evening. It feels like it has been a long time since I've seen you guys. So I'm really glad to be here on this Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining us. If you are new here, super welcome. Thank you so much for sliding on in and showing your face on the scoop. We are glad that you are here. Get comfy. Be sure and hit that share button. Let your people on your regular page know where you will be hanging out, sharing your thoughts, getting your giggles in, stretching your brain in a different way on this evening. So please be sure and do that. And while you're at it, go ahead and drop a comment and let us know where you are tuning in from. We always like to see just how far our reach is reaching in real time. So when you drop those cities for us, it lets us know, where everybody's tuning in from and getting it in. We love the coast to coast perspectives here at the Scoop. Also, when if you are catching a replay, it is because you have probably found us on one of our social media sites. I always like to shout out those who replay because you all be commenting and including the conversation, get in on the conversation after the fact, and we appreciate you. So we want to always let you know how you can catch us if you decide to take a break or whatnot out here in these social media streets. So you can follow us on YouTube at The Scoop Show. You can follow us on Facebook at Real Scoop Show. And you can always follow us on IG, on Instagram at Scoop Radio Show. We invite you to do that so that you can, get in on all the different conversations. Because if there's There's nothing true about social media that everywhere you go, there's always something different. You might see the same post, but you're going to get all kinds of different perspectives. And that is so true for the scoop on all platforms. So please tune in on those platforms as well. I think that is all of the deets and goodness of how to keep up with us. When I want to say what's up to you real quick before we shout out our gorgeous guest that we have sitting over here looking all pretty to my right.
What's good? What's good? I'm glad to be here. Ready for this great show. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good topics, hot topics, and of course, as you said, our co-host for the evening, I'm sure, is going to give us some good stuff. So I'll let you go ahead and introduce Crystal and go from there.
All right, I will do that.
Well, thank you. Did somebody? Can y'all see me? You look like.
I want to just tell the people just a little bit about you, and then we'll go ahead and get into it. So I want to give you guys a little background on Crystal because she is not your regular chick out here in these streets. Crystal lives up to her name by being innately transparent with others as she shares her own truth. She's real out here in these streets. She's currently working on her book, loosely titled 23 Years to Get 365 Days of Singleness, where she shares her relationship journeys, which start by dissecting the impact of her absent father throughout childhood. Branching out of her introvert comfort zone, I know that struggle, Crystal also started a weekly Facebook Live with her male best friend called Real Talk in Jeans, which I thoroughly enjoy, as well as their Facebook group. In their 60-minute Thursday segments at 6, they discuss all things relationships from their own perspective, which makes Crystal a wonderful fit to sit in right here on the scoop. So yeah, I wanted to give y'all just a little background on your girl. How you doing, sis?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. I took a nap so I could be fully energetic and ready for this.
Yes.
I have to do the same thing for Real Talk. I'm like, I just gotta get a little sleep so I can give you what I got, because I'm gonna be on E when this is over. But I'm gonna give you what I got.
It's bedtime after this. It's bedtime.
Listen, what we do, Q, we be like, all right, good night, y'all. See y'all later.
Yep. I'll catch them comments in the morning. We'll recap in the morning. We'll do all that in the morning.
I don't think people understand I don't think people really understand how you like, listen.
Yeah.
I have to take a nap too. And I would call myself an introvert, but I'm an introvert extrovert. But
like, people don't believe me when I say I'm an introvert because I can be so friendly and so whatever, but I have to build myself up. Like, I have to know that it's happening. I'm not like a spur of the moment. I got all this energy for whatever you're talking about. Like, you got to tell me where we going, what time we going to be there. I got to have an idea when I'm leaving because I drove my own car. Like, it's a real thing.
Absolutely. Yep. I get it. Absolutely.
Yep. The recharge is real. It is real.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess that's on me. All right, so we're going to jump into these hot topics. Of course, our hot topics, are brought to us by Bob's Shamrock. Bob Shamrock is our favorite Black-owned gas station in Oklahoma City, owned by on Kells. Bob Shamrock is located at 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City. Again, that's 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City, where they tell you that you can pull up and fill up. So you can pull up and fill up your car, your gas tank, and fill up your stomach at Bob's Shamrock. Again, 2901 Northwest Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's jump into these hot topics. Woo! All righty. I just want to say that this one was not mine. I did not post this one, so don't jump on me.
Disclaimers.
I had to throw that one out there. Question: why is it that women hate to be cheated on, but don't mind being the one a man is cheating with? Why is it that women hate to be cheated on, but don't mind being the one a man is cheating with? Oh, Lord.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
So, first of all, I am not this woman, either one of them. I can assume that it has a lot to do with ego and the fact that you're kind of controlling the situation because you know that it's happening. So you're choosing to be in it versus being in something that you were not aware of. So when you know that he is with somebody, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to give that much time anyway, so I could be the side chick as long as he coming over here, giving me sex sometimes. I know we'll spend on holidays together. We get the pre or the post, but I don't care about that. He gave me a little bit of money, like, they don't really care. But when you're cheated on, it's a whole trust thing because you thought that you were in a committed relationship and that turned out not to be the case. So I think it depends on you knowing and being aware or not knowing and being aware or choosing. Like when you take somebody's choice away, I think that's when they get really angry.
That's a huge one. Okay.
Yep. I think that has a lot to do with it. When you know about a situation, and I also think that's why some women can know that their spouses are cheating and stay, because they know they've made the choice. Even if that initial pain goes away, they're not blindsided. They're not shocked that whole sting is gone. So when you are not aware that something is going on, then all of a sudden all of the human feels come back. You know what I mean? You can remember that there's trust and that there should be communication and all those boundaries and things exist, but those things don't exist when you have the control. You have a different set of boundaries and a different set of deal breakers and things like that are attached to that type of relationship. So I think it's how, and staying on topic with it being women, I know a lot of that is you get to control the damage. You can do your damage control in such a way that allows you to stay in a space that, you have full reign over. So, but when you don't, all of the pretty pictures that you painted don't get to be as pretty. And yeah, that doesn't really work.
So I forgot to mention also, I think ego also plays into it when it comes to the woman being the one cheating, being with the man who's cheating, because it's almost like she ain't got nothing on me because he still chooses to be over here. So she always feel like she got a slight upper hand, even though really whoever the main is, to me, has the upper hand because she the main. So that means she should be getting way more than you're getting. But whatever, if that's how you feel to look at it, neither here nor there.
I kind of see it like, first of all, it's really more so about being in two different places. Like I think when a person is being cheated on, they are at one space, like in one space, one mental, like you said, you think that we're in a committed relationship and it's just you and I, but you choose to be there. So it's like two totally different, you're almost like two totally different people. Yeah. So I think that's why it's not that you think that it's okay or we're saying it's okay. But I think that, again, that when we get in certain spaces in life, like just like, we go through our whole phase, we're in a certain space and we're able to do that because, whether we're hurting or whether we just want whatever it is, that's just where we are at the moment. I really think it's so much about being okay with it. It's about where are you when you're making this choice to be that woman, since we're talking about women. This is
right.
Yeah. So I want to say I appreciate y'all for keeping it to women. I will say that. And second, I want to say that I don't see these comments going. So I'm gonna need y'all to comment tonight. I don't want to comment on this one. Huh? Y'all don't have nothing to say in the comments on this one. I see. Latoya, come on. Y'all got something to say. I ain't never seen y'all this quiet. So let's talk, sis. Talk to me. Don't get quiet now.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we'll move on since apparently everybody want to, everybody.
They're getting their drinks. They refill it.
I would never be that woman.
It's so easy to say what you'll never do until it happens.
So easy.
I'm gonna tell you, I probably must listen. I cover my shirt up. Listen, let me say this. I think I think that every person needs a good one of these phases in their life. I do. Ain't in the scriptures, in the book. I'm just saying. I think that everybody, you know what I mean? Like, I think you need a bad boy, bad girl phase. Just in your life. So
to feel it, to see what that's
like your spectrum of bad boy, bad girl. Like, everybody has a different spectrum. Some people they way
yeah, I ain't talking about
way over there.
I ain't talking about going to jail and they have the FBI look.
No, not that. I'm just saying some people when they have a whole phase, that means 2-3 people. Some people they have a whole phase that mean
I mean, I'm get a good one out for a couple months is all I'm saying. Because I laugh, I say that because like all of my buddies and stuff in college who were like real holy and righteous and loving going to Bible studies, like they got out of college and decided to wild out. I'm like, see, y'all should have been at the party with me. And y'all would have this out y'all life.
You would be ready right now.
I would be looking like I'm done because I've been there. That's why you want to be 45 going to the club. Like, sir, we're supposed to be trying to, raise kids now, and all of a sudden you want to. Anyway, I digress. Like I said, have a good one, have one, and then move on with your life.
I think college is a great time to do it though, because that's when you have like the lead.
You're
still grown, but you don't have like grown responsibilities for real. If you're gonna do it, I think that's the best time to do it.
Listen, I hope my mom. Sorry, mama, if you watch this. All right. She gonna be like, oh Lord. All right, let's go. Q, this one is Q. You posted this one.
Yes, Lord.
Yes. So Q says she disagrees with this. She says you can disagree or offer an alternative in a respectful way that adds value versus making you both appear to be damn fools. Why are we always trying to tell people? What do you think?
No, that ain't what I said.
No, listen.
What are you trying to tell
what
people?
do you think? Is it whatever they say, no matter what? So the post is never ever disagree with your partner in public. If they say 2 + 2 = 5, you should say yes, because they carry the 1, because it only shows others the level of respect you have for one another. Q, since you posted this one, Q, I'm gonna let you start this and go for it.
No, yeah, like I said, I do not agree with this. I think this is, and what was so crazy to me was this was posted by a Marriage 360 by a group, a marriage page that like shares things to millions of people. Has a huge following on this page. So I was like, no. There needs to be more context to this. And just the flat out statement, like to never disagree in public says that your foundation is not solid enough to be challenged in love by some, you know what I mean? Like to be corrected. Like who is so big and what relationship is so coveted that it is beyond correction? Like I should be able, and why are we out in public and now that's the time that we both got to be boo-boo to food, like in front of other people. We got to have an audience to both showing that we don't have any sin. Like that makes no sense to me.
Yes, it is, baby, because you can't be the one, baby. Of course.
Person in the circle watching this happen, I'd be like, are y'all for real right now? Like we really gonna do 2 + 2 = 5? And you carrying a 1? Like sis. That I think would create more of a conversation than just being like, you know what I mean? A quiet, like, or whatever. Just try, even just changing the subject or, saying, oh, no, babe, no, 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah, we can move on. Like, why do we have to be tiptoey on the account? I did not agree with this. Like, I can't even find a way around it. Like, I flat out thought this was silliness. Like, this sounds crazy to me. Like, a free thinking person go read this and say, no, single's good. Like, if this is
like, I look at memes and I just hope that people share them for comical reasons for a lot of them. I hope that they are not really collecting memes in their phone and trying to live by these.
Oh, they are. They are people who are definitely
one wonders.
Like if they are out with their mate and their mate disagrees, I hope they don't discredit the whole relationship and feel like, well, he must not love me or she must not love me because she disagreed because they looked at a meme that said that that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I need common sense to come back into the world, and I need people to use their brains for themselves far more than we have began to do, because like that literally makes no sense. And if me telling you that no, babe, that's not right, makes our relationship look crazy, or it looks like we're not a unit, then we just not a unit. Like I
and that's just got to be what it is.
And that's probably what it is. Like
straight up.
So I think this is contextually correct. 2 + 2, like that example is just like that's stupid.
It's a bad example. And I'm not saying argue, but I'm saying you can disagree.
Exactly. Right. I can absolutely disagree. Like I said, I agree, don't argue. I agree, don't correct. Like I'm not like correcting my spouse in front of, like correcting, like, that's that's stupid. Like I'm not gonna say that crazy, like, but man, 2 + 2 is not. What you drinking? What's in that cup? I mean, that's a way to do it that is absolutely fine. That's not disrespectful. It doesn't dishonor you, or him. I mean, again,
and it doesn't belittle them. It doesn't belittle them. It just that's not right. That's not accurate. No.
And I mean, I saw the post. I know, like I said, that was, so the meme aside, this is actually something that we're taught. Like I was taught this, like, don't ever correct your wife in public. And I'm like, but she wrong. So if they wrong,
the church?
They're like,
who taught you? The counselor? Who taught this?
My parents taught me that, which clearly, if you saw the post, my dad was arguing for this one. Like, I never told my wife. He was like, I just don't see this. And I get his point. I think he's taking it to the extreme of like arguing, which is fine. I agree with that. But just to say you're wrong, like, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lose man. Like my self-esteem is not, ego is not taking a hit because you told me 2 + 2 is really 4. It's not 5.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people mix words up nowadays. Like when you say disagreement, I think they think that means argument. If you say disagree, that means you don't understand. Like I understood, I just don't agree. Like people, or you're hating. Like everything means something else. That it can't just be what it is. Like hating doesn't have its own meaning. Disagreement doesn't have its own meaning. Like everything is the same. And you like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I heard you. I dissected what you said. I comprehended it, and I still disagree.
And it doesn't make you any less of a partnership because I did that. Yeah. You just were wrong. You were just wrong. That's it. We all gonna be wrong at some point. Like
some point, exactly. And because your wife or husband doesn't absolve you from being wrong, like you can still be wrong. That's a human thing. That is a human thing. I have not met a human yet who is not wrong at some point. Any point.
If you are my partner and you got me out here believing that 2 + 2 is 5, and you don't correct me, I'm questioning your love for me at that point.
Exactly.
If you got me out here and I know me. Like if I believe something, I am committed to this statement. And I'm committed to this statement and it is totally wrong. And you don't be like, hey, that's wrong. I just
text me something.
And you just ain't told me. Like that's, to me, that's akin to me walking around with a booger in my nose or my fly open, and you just like, I want to tell you because I don't want to dishonor you. Tell me, zip my pants and get it out my eye. I just don't get it. Like, don't let me be embarrassed. If you really want to honor me and you really want to love me, make sure I'm not out here looking stupid.
Let me find out on the back end. We the only two in the circle out the loop, and you had the closure of the loop. You had a crazy? Like we got a whole nother situation. Like we was the only two everybody knew in the circle, and you just let me be out, bruh. Like, you don't know me if you don't understand how being wrong bothers me. You know what I mean? Like I don't include myself in a lot of conversations because I don't want to be the only one in the circle wrong. Let me find out you let me be the one in the circle wrong and you co-signed it. Like, no. You do not.
I know. In that moment, I would be like, do not love me that much. If that's what love is, don't love me that much.
Thank you. Thank you. Let it go a little bit. Like that.
It's not the kind of love I need. I need that much love in my life if that's what this is.
Yeah, that pedestal's a little too high, bruh. Like I'm clumsy. Don't put me up there that high. Like don't do that to me.
Yeah, we're not that fast.
Bring me back on down to earth, please.
I do want. Like I said, I understand the value and the need for respect and honor and covering. I'm absolutely with that. Again, I just think the way we're doing it, this instance, this is not respect. Again, it's respectful not to argue with me. It's respectful not to, you talking crazy to me, calling me names. That's one thing. Again, that's an extreme, but something as simple as you just, we having a random conversation. I'm just spouting off bad information.
And you telling me I'm right.
Yeah.
No.
You're going to have them talking about us thinking we the stupid couple. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. I'm like, hey, we looking real bad as a team right now, and you just let us.
Yeah,
we're gonna be the topic of the post event discussion. And it's always that one couple that you gotta stand out. You like, and did you hear what he said? And did you hear what she said? Now y'all the topic.
Now they can't. That fool up there talking about some 2 + 2 is 5, and she talking about some baby it's 5 because you carried a 1.
Carry the 1.
The 1. They must be new. She must be putting it on him if he talking about some you carry the 1.
Right. I don't want none of that. If it make me do that, now all of a sudden we don't want nothing to do with it.
All right, baby, you carry the 1, baby. I can hear somebody saying you carry the 1.
Then my face would be so cracked.
Like
you keep that and the 1 and the 2. You keep all of those.
Right. What's up? All right, let's go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
A woman finds herself between a man she loves and a man who loves her. So who does she choose? A woman finds herself between a man she loves and a man who loves her. Who does she choose?
I could tell you what we probably mostly always choose. The man that we love. Because you're going off emotion. And so, and usually I don't know why the people that like us, we don't like them. Like, and they really be in love too, like hard, and they'll do anything for you. And you're like, ugh, so annoying.
Sometimes they not attractive. I mean,
yeah. Or they go too hard. Like when people go really, really hard, and it almost seems like an insecure thing. Like, I wish I could have you. I only hope to have you. I dream of having you. Like when they talk like that, it sounds like you're not really confident in yourself, and you kind of would hope to have me as some sort of a trophy. And I don't want to be a trophy. And I also don't want to feel like you just happy to have me, but I don't feel the same way about you. Like it's still not a really good relationship to be in. But then the ones you love, I know men are technically supposed to be the chasers, but I think women also chase men and hope that they love them as much. Like they try to prove all the reasons why they should be loved and why he should like her and why she should care about her. And then when he realizes that none of those things really matter because he gonna be with who he want to be with, then she get mad. Then men ain't nothing. They ain't nothing. They the scum of the earth because he was who he was in the beginning, and somehow you got confused.
And he didn't choose me.
Right. But I will say, if all the options are he loves you more or you love him more. Those are bad options anyways. But if we had to pick for purposes of this question, I think most of us always choose the person we love more.
Cute.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily work out for us, but that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. So I looked at this from two different ways. I agree with Crystal that our gut reaction is generally to go with who we love because that's where our roots are. You know what I mean? That's where we have vision. That's where we put effort. Like, to speak to what Crystal just mentioned, like the person that you love, you're willing to put in more effort for. Whereas someone who loves you, you're looking for effort being put into you. So the whole framework is set up differently when it's not balanced in that situation. And I think a lot of the time, to speak again to what Crystal mentioned at the end of that, as far as, you know, I'm willing to do all of these things to gain your attention and all of that. A lot of the times I think we fuzzy what love is. Are those feelings, or are you feeling that your effort wasn't recognized and rewarded in the way that you expected it to? Because if you're putting forth all this effort for someone to notice and love you, and all that effort is being put in because you're not really getting reciprocation. You're getting acknowledgement, but there's no reciprocation happening. So you do more and more until that effort is matched or that love is given that you think is up there to what the effort that you put in. So a lot of the times I think that's where we get confused. And when she said that, I thought to myself, oh, that's not even really what we're feeling at that point. We need an exchange for all this work we put in at the end of all of this. It's like, hold on, homie, you don't get to just up and go. But the other side of that, I thought about, if you literally are sitting there looking at these choices and sis is spun around like this, I think when she grounds herself at the end of the day, because lots of women are put in this situation, they end up choosing which one has the most potential for longevity, stability, minimal hurt and pain, which I think can sometimes lead you to be with the person who loves you, and you will find a way. Sometimes if you are thinking in a mindset of longevity, minimal damage, heart, this person's gonna take care of me, not put me through a whole bunch of mess and all this other stuff, and I like them, you know what I mean? Like, I like him. I might not be in as much love as him, but I like him, you know what I mean? It can work. Then I think a woman would be with the person who loves her as opposed to the one that she's in love. Because like Crystal said, we be lost in the sauce. Like, our love gets.
Yeah. I know that women, I've heard women are taught, be with somebody who loves you more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say, but I don't know how many women do that. Like,
yeah, I ain't say do it. Right?
Yeah. Somebody told you, and you was like, nah, but I like him though.
Exactly. He's not the one I like. He's not attractive. We'll do that, because at that age, typically when we're younger, the one that likes us more, like you said, comes across pretty desperate, or maybe not the most attractive, physically to us, or whatever. It's almost like the one that's best for you versus the one that like the one that is not. Like, so anyway, I think that depending on the age of the person determines this answer, the age and the mentality of the person. I think when we're younger, less mature, we go for the one we want. I think the older we get, to Q's point, the woman goes to the one who likes her, because it becomes more about stability and reciprocity, as and some of the flair and the fireworks that some of these have the expectation is going to happen when I meet the one. It's kind of like life happens and you like, look, let me just get somebody who is going to love me and ain't going to cheat on me, and and who we could be cool, enjoy. I think you kind of get women a lot, from what I see, get into that kind of idea. So I think a lot of it depends on where you are maturity wise, and then the relationship experiences that a lot of people have, a lot of ladies that I see, at least. Because most women, they like, you ain't gotta love me, just like me a lot. Just like me a lot and treat me real good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Versus the
and
one.
I'm wondering if these relationships stand the test of time either way. Like, does it work out? Does that feeling of you cool work? Like,
I mean,
like,
it depends on the person. Because some, like, I hear a lot of, I liked him as a person, but I really didn't love him. But as I was around him, I grew to love. You know what I mean? Like, but so I hear a lot of that. I do. I hear a lot.
So I think that's where like choices and just making the decision, because fairy tales make you feel like you're supposed to be head over heels and they supposed to come and swoop you up and y'all gonna ride off and y'all gonna live happily ever after. But I think the more you live life, the more you like, this is just a decision. Like, this is not really a soulmate, or I found the perfect egg with the perfect crack in the perfect location and we perfectly matched. It's either I choose to be with you or we're not gonna be together. But it's not as magical as we had hoped for and as we have been taught through Disney.
Exactly.
Yep. Some people are just, and I don't even say simple in a negative light at all, but a lot of folks complicate, and in another way, complicate isn't even meaning that negatively, but like we add a lot of extra to what love means. And for some people, there is a very simple idea of what it takes to be loving somebody, long-term loving, or in a relationship. For some people, love doesn't look like what love looks like to pop culture. You know what I mean? Or the like, in a lot of ways, and especially us, we were raised on the Disney, on the the after school like the romanticism, that we had the music, and like we literally hear the soundtracks as things happen in our lives. You know what I mean? We are the soundtrack generation, and it just for moments. You know what I mean? We create moments, and we wonder why our baby's doing promposals and stuff like that, and we got the nerve to call them extra. Like, we raised these kids, you know what I mean? Like,
these are the children of our Boys to Men and Jodeci music.
Right. There's some people who just like, hey, let's just do this thing and set out somewhere. You know what I mean? And they do it. And so it can't work. It can't work.
I will say that I love watching movies for the reason that it still has a fairy tale ending. Like, even if they were going through whatever they were going through, they usually are together in the end. And so I love watching movies for that reason, because I know life doesn't work that way. But when movies are like mimic real life, I'd be so upset. Like, I didn't watch this for this. Like, 2 hours. You supposed to stay together, be happy. Like, real life gave me, I don't need all that. Like, give me, y'all was happy.
I'm here for the fantasy.
I'd be so upset. Like, their movie to break up with Vince Vaughn. Oh, I was so mad. I'm like, so they really not get back together? Like, this has about to end. I was so mad. I watched it one time. It's my least favorite movie for that reason. Like, nah, y'all supposed to be together. If I'm watching a movie, y'all better stay together, get together. I don't care how many times you fall out.
That's why I didn't watch Malcolm and Marie. People was talking about this sounds like the neighbor that won't shut up. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Like, they don't never stop fighting. Like, ain't like they had the movie with Zendaya and the Denzel.
They never stop fighting.
You don't want to see that. Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Between the preview and then the reviews of the Facebook fam, I said, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm real good.
Yeah.
There's not enough alcohol in the house for that. I can't." And I like a deep movie, you know what I mean? Like, I like some twists and turns, but I do not want to sit and watch only two people in black and white argue for 2 hours. That is too much like some stuff you could walk in on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool. I'm good. Yeah.
So I get it.
Feel that on the whole fantasy part. I don't want to see that. Like,
I watched this night. When I watched Malcolm and Marie, I was like, listen, my whole my counselor antennas was like, ding, 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 ding. I was like, ooh.
I'm not getting paid.
I had to go watch Money Talks afterwards. Like, I needed humor in my life. What the world is this?
Woo.
Y'all made me so tired. But you also made me feel like I've been okay in relationships. If this is what could be an outcome, I've been doing all right.
So I was like, listen, bro should have left. Actually, like, one of them should have left a long time ago. Like, this is
like, are you being held hostage?
Ooh, okay. I was like, oh, all right. This takes time to a whole nother level. All right.
Hot mess. Terrible.
All right. Let me keep going.
Yeah.
D. Lloyd says, why are men expected to treat a woman like a wife from the beginning of a relationship, but women are taught to wait before they start treating a man as they would a husband?
Well,
Put that one back up. Sorry.
well, I can recall people saying that, why would he buy the cow if he already getting the milk? I remember that phrase for sure, but I don't know if they're only, I'm sure they weren't only referring to sex, because also when you talk about you make him a meal every night, or you wear lingerie on a regular, or you whatever, they like, so what are y'all doing exactly? However, I hear them, and there are things that I probably don't do because I probably in my head think that's wife things to do. I can't pinpoint them, but I'm sure there's things that I'm like, nope, not doing that, because we're not there. It's almost like the phase of dating and then being in a relationship, and I've never been engaged or married, but I know even from dating to relationship, there's certain things I'm not gonna do in dating that I would do in a relationship. Like if you ask
You can't get a man $5.
we're just dating. Like, why are you asking me for anything? But in a relationship, you can be like, babe, give me that 20 real quick. Like, and I got you. And I don't second guess it. But there's just certain levels, I think, that go with certain commitments that I probably honor. Because, yeah. And then I don't know how men are taught. I have 2 brothers, but we didn't have men in our household. So whatever they learned came from us. So I don't really know what they what they got from that. I don't know how that worked out for my brothers. I don't know what they believe, but nothing. I just
I need y'all to have a Sunday dinner, sis. You got a whole level, the whole lesson.
Y'all got now conversation. It's a good conversation now. So what do y'all thought about this? Are they married? Are your brothers married?
No, my brother, he's young. One is 22, but the other one is 32. 2 kids, but not married.
Okay.
He's still.
Those are good ages to ask, though, because you have that's a big difference in perspective. You can learn a lot in 10 years. You can have a whole different perspective across 10 years.
Look, I'm almost scared to ask, because when I know men, my best friend is a male, and I have another best friend that's a male. So I have these male conversations, and like I pretty much grew up around men or boys because I used to play basketball and I was always the only girl on the team. So I'm familiar with male conversations, but when it's like your people, like your brothers or your sisters, and then you hear they could say the same thing that an outsider would say, but you'll be like, what? You hate it? Like you would be appalled at the way they think.
Yeah.
Who told you that? Where you get that from?
That's me and my sister. Yeah. That's why we don't talk about that kind of stuff very often.
Too funny.
Just be like,
I don't know what they were taught, but I do know that the milk and the cow, I remember that all the time for sure.
Cool.
So this one, I think, all comes down to moderation. I think in perspective, how you see it really comes, because like if I were dating, I would not expect a man to, and this is what I said on the post, like I don't expect a man to pay all of my bills or come in and take care of all of the man things at my home. However, if this is someone that I'm dating, and I'm looking to take seriously as a potential life partner, I do have an expectation of you paying for more meals than you don't, and not running away from the opportunity to help me if I'm in that position, because the whole point of dating is you are auditioning. Like I'm if you are dating for purpose, you know what I'm saying? That is the point of that. So, and as a woman, I would want to whatever, and those are the things that would display a life partner for me. So I'm not going to sit here and give you a list of things that someone would consider wifely duties, because that's going to depend on the man. But I'm just going to say, like, I would also, within reason of our relationship, also display how I would be ideal wife material. So I don't think that any woman should just come out the gate cooking, cleaning, doing all of the laundry and all that other stuff. Why, sis? Like, why? You know what I mean? Why would you do all of that? But if y'all sitting having date night doing your thing and the laundry is there and y'all sitting chilling having wine, I'm going to grab the laundry basket and I might fold the laundry and do my thing and not make a big deal out of it. On occasion, because I'm here, the laundry's here, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to act like, you should get somebody for that. Chick, that's you. You know what I mean? That could be you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a prime opportunity to display that you could possibly be the one to do that thing if that's the help that he needs. So I think this all depends on moderation and trying to fill a need, fit a role for the person's life that you're trying to play in. Like, this is not a.
So it sounds like you should give them a preview, but don't give them the full movie. Give them a preview.
Give them a snack. Give them a snack. Don't give them the meat.
Do something every now and then, but don't make it your consistent thing.
Thank you. That's it in a nutshell. Yes.
Here's my thing. As a man, I think that as a man, we often feel like in marriage we are hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. We're tricked because by statements like this, because we'll say, you know, I'm not going to do certain things when we get married, or I will do certain things, and I just want to do the like you were saying, like a preview, and then we're like, cool, yes, I know when we get married, laundry, whatever, and then we get married, and it's like, I don't do that. I wasn't doing. When you found me, I wasn't doing you. We're like, wait, but preview, what happened? So I think a lot of guys are like, no, I need to see what you're going to do, and then I can make the decision or the determination if I want to move to the next phase based upon what I see you do and who you are at that point. So I think that's how, from a male perspective, why we are always like a little leery about it. Now, in terms of what the meme is saying or the post is saying, I think it goes really to how we determine, like you said, wife and husband duties. I don't have a problem with what you said, minus the cooking. You ain't got to do my laundry. You ain't got to clean before but if you can't cook a meal,
yeah,
I'm just gonna tell you now, it's not gonna happen for me.
Because that's a need you need met. That's a field. That's something that sis should be auditioning for on a regular basis.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's me. I don't need you to clean for me. I don't need you to do my laundry. I do all of that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I clean my own house. But if you can't, if you think you gotta wait to get married to cook, it's bad. Look, well, it's bad enough.
You in this shirt. Listen, we're not wearing this shirt on the show no more.
No more Jesus shirts on the scoop. Anyway, no more Jesus shirts. It's bad enough I'm supposed to wait till marriage, and I can't. You know what I mean? And now I can't even get a meal.
So does she have to cook on a regular, or she just cooking sometimes? Like how much does she have to cook for you to know, like, okay, you can cook well enough that we possibly?
I need to know that she has the staples. Like, can she cook cornbread? You know, I mean, nothing fancy like spaghetti, chicken. Listen,
chicken. I'm surprised that was third. I'm surprised that was third.
I'm working my way into it. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know, because that is essential for my survival. Like, so you mean to tell me I don't get to taste chicken until after? What? This
might not make it. This ain't gonna make it.
You're not gonna make it. I'm telling you that. I'm just. That's for me. That's. I'm cool on everything else. I don't want your money. I don't want none of that. I don't even want your $5, Crystal. You keep $5. I just need to know: is your cornbread flat? Do you put is it the sweet cornbread? Is it the, you know what I mean? I need to know, like, do you Mahalia your Jackson in the kitchen? Like, I need to know what is your strength line? So
oh my God.
That's just me. So I think as a man, I say all that to say, I think we want to know, like you said, the auditioning pieces, can those be done? there are definitely some things that I think are reserved for marriage. However, you got to also realize that as a man, like, we have been fooled, and I'm not saying women don't either, but as a man, we have been fooled into this thing of, I will hit this switch and be this woman after marriage. And then we go into it thinking that, and then after marriage, you still, y'all know my thing. Y'all want to play Fred Hammond all that blessed day. Turn it off. I need to hear some silk. I don't want to hear in my house all the time, walking around speaking in tongues. We got work to anyway. God bless you.
Silk. Oh my God!
You got that too. I was gonna just let him
in my bedroom.
I need to lose control. I need some
in my bedroom.
I need some Jodeci. I need,
knocking the boots.
I love it.
Come on. I know. Listen, I'm sorry, Mama. It's the truth. I need that. So anyway,
oh my gosh.
Anyway, this is why I'm single now. Anyway, that's why I'm unmarried. That's why
Oh boy.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I need a moment of silence on this one. I only friend zone you because you're too perfect. He responds, that makes no sense. She says, you'd make a better husband than boyfriend, and I wanted to keep you around until the time was right. If we ever dated and broke up, I'd hate to lose you forever. All girls keep the good ones around until the time is right. Listen, I got questions on this one.
Well, ask your questions. Let me see what you got.
Is this a thing? Like, is this really a thing for ladies to keep the husband?
Talking too much is a thing. Yeah.
You said what's the thing?
What'd you say?
Talking too much is a thing. Sis said too much. There was no need for that last comment. She could have almost made this work had she left that very last comment off. Because yeah, it's real. Yeah. I think people put people in places that is convenient for where they are in their lives. If people allow them to be placed, people will absolutely place you. Yes. This is that whole teach people how to treat you. You know what I mean? You got to show them and all of that. Yes. Yes, people do this. Yes. Nobody likes to say they do it. Like, duh, like everybody been cheated on, but nobody's ever cheated. The same thing. Same thing. Same thing. But yeah, I think I'm assuming there was a conversation of, hey, I was feeling you. What happened? You know what I mean? What's going on? And then we get to the whole I friend zoned you thing because you're too perfect, which could be a very real feeling. Sis may not be ready for what dude had to offer. He's like, what are you saying? She says, you'd make a better husband than boyfriend. And I wanted to keep you around until the time was right. If we ever dated and broke up, I'd hate to lose you forever. This is one of those things. I really like you. I see potential in you. I would like to date you at some point, but I am not ready, is what she's saying. She should have said that. She didn't take any accountability for her space right now, because that's really what it is. But that last thing, all girls keep the good ones around until the time. Sis, shut up. Like, why do you just talking too much? Did he take too long to respond? Did the dots not dance fast enough for you? You think he was waiting on something else? Like, shut up. What are you saying?
What she made all of this up? Because when dudes, when they like you and they ask you like, well, what happened? And you don't have no real reason. You just come up with whatever comes out. You just try to make him feel okay. So you come up with our friend zone. I've never thought to even say nothing like that. But, that could have been, she just came up with something to try to ease the blow a little bit. But no, I've never thought that somebody was too great and I didn't want them. Like, if I thought they was great, I wanted them, and I wanted them at that time because I was hoping that it was going to work out. So
that's how I think.
I never put nobody on the back burner like that. If I like somebody and they like me, I'm like, let's go. Let's see what this can do. I've never been like, well, I'm going to deal with these other three first, and then if you still available, I'm going to come back and maybe we can work. I ain't never.
Yeah.
So I don't connect with this statement at all. And I ain't never even heard my friends, and my friends say some stuff, but I ain't never heard them say nothing like this.
I see friend zone as the bench. When we talk about a bench, everybody doesn't have a bench. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some people who are monogamous people.
Well, when you on the bench, you don't come off the bench. That's it.
Say it again.
She act like he still got a shot. He gonna be a main player one time. He ain't gonna be that. She said
when she get married. He said she gonna come back when she ready to be married.
Mm-mm. He ain't got no shot. That ain't.
Listen, if he did, he should walk away.
Like after this, why would you want to? I would take my bag, put my bag on my shoulder. I'm out. I've been traded. I'm a free agent all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, like
unless he do what women do and be like, at least he was honest. At least she was. If he take that road, then he'll be back.
He'll be back.
True.
He'll go activate his bench and play around a little bit, and then he'll be back.
I'm not listening. So I'm thinking from a man's perspective, do men do this? I think men do this.
Hi, Medina.
She doesn't.
I
agree. Yeah. Medina says she feels like she doesn't like him. I agree. Absolutely. But men do that in the situation where they feel like a woman is easier. Like this woman over here is easier and it's less work, and I don't feel like putting in the work right now, so I'm gonna go over here. I've seen it then, and I've seen it in situations where they know a woman is not about to give none, and they don't want to not have to do that. They don't want to have to be with somebody who's going to be abstinent, celibate, whatever you want to call it. So outside, and I've actually seen men do it where we say, for that same reason, I can't date her because I'm still out here playing. So when I'm tired of playing, then I've never heard women put men on the bench until they're done playing. So this was like, when I saw this, I was like, tell me more. I'm intrigued now. I didn't know this was a thing.
I'm only playing because I don't have nobody. Like that's why I'm playing. When I'm trying to find somebody. So if a great one come along, like the game is over. I want the game to be over.
Yeah. And that does happen too to us. Like we meet somebody and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I was about to play, but let me go ahead and let me wrap this up real quick because I see something over here that's worth me stop playing for. So put their stand by though. Then that's another one. There you go. That is true. If they let you.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, because I don't think Old Boy would be asking any of these questions that would even bring up friend zone if he was getting a cookie. Like that wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, no.
Like this conversation would have ever happened. He would have thought he was in the game and playing real good if he was getting cookies. So that is the
unless he knew he was the side dude.
They just went on a couple dates, probably didn't go too far. He really liked her.
Unless he knew he was the side dude, or
he didn't get a kiss. They said when she got out the car, like it was.
Get him with the bruh in conversation. She said, "Bruh, you know what I said, bruh." Like she hit
him with the bro one too many times. And he was like, "I'm not your bro.
I'm not your bro."
Which, by the way, I want to say to fellas, this is 2021. Stop letting these women bro you to death. Stand your rights. If you don't want to be her bro, tell her I'm not your bro. I'm not your bro. Tell her. Don't be like, oh, okay, sis. No, if you don't want to be her bro,
you better manifest your life. You better manifest your thing.
Not your bro.
Oh my God.
Say it with your chest too. Don't be like, no, you gotta, she be like, oh, okay, Thank me later.
When she say, "Oh, okay," she got it. Like, oh.
Yeah,
I was like,
she like, oh,
it's just like, baby, kick me a little bit.
Oh, okay. Call you that no more. Like, pull a bass in your voice too when you do it. But don't let her bro you. Don't let her bro you if you don't want to be a bro.
Mm-hmm.
That is hilarious.
Thank you later. All right, Crystal. Thanks for
wisdom. That's a rare wisdom on this.
We know you gotta let you go, Crystal. Tell everybody where they can catch your show and where they can find you and follow you on social media.
Okay, so Real Talking Jeans is relationship talk with my best friend Jason. That is Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central. It's live on Real Talking Jeans group, and it's also live on my personal page. So that's every Thursday, 6 p.m. Please tune into that. You can also join the Real Talking Jeans group on Facebook. We are growing quickly. There's about 3,500 members in there now. And we allow you to post anything as long as it's pretty much relationship based. The only rules are you got to be respectful, you got to be real. That's it. As long as you do those two things, then we're good. I also am on Instagram at Right to Success. It's WRITE, the number 2, success. I do resumes and bios and cover letters and all those things. So that's my business. And then I also work at BT, and I'm an executive assistant to the president of media sales. So you might see different types of photos. It's not just all resume or real talk based. It's just an accumulation of all the things that I do.
We have a conference this year, by the way. A conference this year? You know if it's a conference this year? That just popped in my head.
Oh, no. I doubt that it will be. I think everything will probably come back in 2022. It'll probably be virtual again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. This was fun.
Yes, we got to have you back.
Oh, I would love to. This was a great time.
All right, y'all. Make sure you follow Crystal on all of the social media handles. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good second hour.
Get you some rest.
Join us back in the comments.
Okay, I will. Bye-bye.
That was fun.
Absolutely. So before we jump into this second hour, of course, we want to make sure you know that if you have a business, if you have something that you need promoted that you should advertise here with us, we have packages of all shapes and sizes, whatever your needs are. So you can advertise with us here on The Scoop at Global Drive Radio. All you need to do is email us at globaldriveradio@gmail.com so we can set up a consultation and talk. But we want to make sure that what you are doing gets out to as many people as possible. And as we grow, we want you and your business to grow with us. So again, you can advertise with us. For more information, see us at globaldriveradio@gmail.com or DM me ASAPly. Also, this Friday night, I'm having a virtual relationship forum. So since we can't meet in person, we're going to meet on Zoom. So we got some games, we got some prizes, and of course I have a very big announcement to make come Friday. So you need to go to my event page and register, because we're gonna have a good time. It's for singles, it's for couples, it's for everybody. The only thing I am gonna tell you, this ain't gonna be. I'm not wearing this shirt this Friday night. We talk about everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. So join us Friday. It's going to be from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. So after your children go to bed, you can join us and have some fun together. Let's talk about relationships. Let's laugh. Let's argue. Let's fight. Whatever we're going to do Friday night. But go over to my relationship page and register. It's free to the virtual relationship forum this Friday night.
Man, I miss relationship forums.
Me too.
Face to face.
Me too. All right. And of course, so we had Crystal the first hour. This hour, we're going to be joined by somebody y'all already know and love. And so she's going to be, usually she does Passion Talk, but tonight she's going to be sitting in as co-host. It is everybody's favorite fire starter, everybody's favorite coach, everybody's favorite counselor, the one and the only Miss Cicely Victoria. How are you, ma'am?
What up, squad?
What's
What's
going on?
Hey, girl. How y'all everyone. Happy Tuesday. Y'all got me out of whack, okay? It is not second Tuesday. I'm technically not supposed to be here. But when Chief calls for me, I'm here, okay?
Yep.
When I can.
I was gonna say, really? Okay, y'all heard that. Y'all
When
all
I-
heard that.
Listen, I always put an addendum.
Uh-huh.
When I can. Asterisk.
Since with Asher, yeah.
Asterisk. When I can. Don't take it to your heart, Winfred. Leave it in your head.
Wait, huh? You see my ear? I was like,
Yeah, right. I knew you was gonna say something already, so that's why I just cleaned it up. But I was feeling generous. Ooh, child. I was feeling generous, and I missed y'all. And you know, I always do whatever I can, honestly.
we can't hear you.
Juicy,
Yep.
so I had to be about it.
There you go.
There we go. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm
You back,
excited.
baby?
Yep. Can you hear us?
Okay. For some reason, I don't know, the sound went down on me. Let me see.
I think you're back now. We good.
The call came through and messed up my stilo. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Why the heck I can't hear you? All right. Win, you say something.
Say something.
All
Can
right.
you-
Y'all, I'm going to go out and come back in, okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Go ahead and introduce.
Oh, the segment. So this evening we are talking about. We go ahead and pop up our little our image for this conversation. Okay, so this is something that's been floating around the internet, and we wanted to talk about it. We're just introing our convo, sis. And this text exchange says, pop it up. Thank you. After telling you that this is between a man and a woman. So the woman is in gray and the man is in blue. So after telling you that I have 3 kids, you even stop calling, texting, or coming to see me. Heartbreak emoji, sad face, crying. And he says, it's just that I've been busy with work lately. She responds, lies. You men hate responsibility because every time I mention that I have 3 kids, men disappear. You're all the same, liars, cowards who are always running away from responsibility. Sad face, straight face, frustrated face. And then he says, there's a massive difference between responsibility and burden. Instead of blaming all men, why can't you deal with your baby daddies? Make them responsible and leave the rest of us alone. Because a man is supposed to be responsible for his own actions, not someone else's. So tonight, we are going to discuss not only this conversation, but honestly an underlying conversation that we've noticed that's happening a lot, especially with our particular age group, because many of us are to the point where we may or may not have children, 1 or more children. We may or may not have been divorced or in long-term relationships that have not panned out. You know what I'm saying? We got baggage. Okay. We are the baggage claim start and stop. Okay. That's us. Okay. So these types of conversations, and we've been talking about Kevin Samuels and the value of people and, you know, this whole conversation, especially when it comes to children. So when Win and I were chatting about this, my response to this particular type of conversation and others like it were, we are confused on the difference in eligibility versus availability. So as a culture, you know, we can see, do y'all remember that, I don't know if this just played here in Oklahoma or not, but that ITT commercial, I think it was, where old girl went in and she interviewed for a job and they'd ask her, well, do you have experience in this thing? Well, no, but I've got a brilliant personality. And they ask her another question, do you have another qualification? And she's like, oh, well, no, but I have a brilliant personality. Like, so everything that was looked at as a requirement, a requisite, something that should be desired in a candidate, she was, no, but I'm a really great person, you know. she responded with that. So often when we get in these conversations, I think we really get confused as far as dating is concerned, is considered eligibility that makes you desirable. When I looked up the definition of what eligibility is, and when we talk about eligible bachelors and this, you know, the thing that we love so much, we love this, that's been told to us forever. Those things are they are desirable. Those are things that are coveted. Those are the traits that many want in people, or in a partner. Availability means you're here. It's something that is an option, is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that fills a void, that takes a space. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's something that is available. Those are two totally different things. And I think sometimes our conversations get muddied because we don't understand the difference. So tonight, this conversation is what we're going to chat about. We're going to talk about the difference in those things and how can we better align this conversation when we're talking about this love thing. So sis, being our guest this evening, our guest, but not really, we get our guest with more time to kind of expound and work through some things. I'm going to give you the opportunity to chat about this first. What are your thoughts on this?
Lord, I was really hoping that you did not ask me to speak.
I'd be a good hostess if I didn't.
Listen, no. Like, I'm in a space where it's like, okay, this might be a little bit too personal for me right now, so I don't want to manifest. Okay, I'm trying to have what we call in counseling detached involvement.
What we say, we here for you. Go ahead.
This is a safe place.
I'm trying to have detached involvement. So, honestly, listen, I'm eligibility versus availability. Okay, as Q mentioned, two very distinct things. I'm with the dude. I'm with you, bruh. In regard to, like, I don't know, you know, not necessarily saying that baby daddies aren't taking care of their business. I don't know if she was necessarily asking you to take the place of the baby daddies or what have you. But if you are pursuing her, prospecting her, coming after her, you know, I hear that she is asking you to presume, I guess, that place of taking the whole package, if you will. Now, Q, was this in regard to like dating, right? This is just dating.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is dating, so, getting to know people, choosing the choice, you know.
Let me speak from a woman who has 0 children, okay? Mm-hmm. I very much can sound like the dude at times. Mm-hmm. In regard to, listen, I used to date a guy that had, what was it, 5 kids by 6, oh Lord, 5.
Not impossible. Yeah, 5 and impossible.
I can barely count. He had 5 kids by 5 different baby mamas. Listen,
that's too many.
There's some things that are just, first of all, he was just a flat out hoe. Okay, that's just, can I just be real, okay, about that? Yep. That's just, it is what it is. That's why I liked him, okay, at the time. That's why I was with him, because, you know, we jailed in that capacity, because that was my hoeing days, as Wynn was referencing earlier. Okay, so that was no problem. I wasn't trying to take him home. You know, I was using him for his skills. So, yeah, as it pertains to a real prospect, I mean, you have a right to your preferences. You have a right to, you know, the kind of dynamics that you want to entreat. You know, you got 1, possible 2. I'm with you. But when we start, you know, thrusting out into the land a little bit further, this is, I have to consider myself. I have to consider, you know, because I date for the ultimate purpose of marriage. If I marry you, then I have to accept everything that you come with. And I'm all for that. So that's why I have to choose and you know, very intentionally in regard to, you know, the dynamics that are going to work for me or no. No shade.
True story. When, but you, it is.
So yeah, so as I thought through this as first as the man. So as the man, I understood why he would potentially do that. It's a reality. Like when you realize that a person has 3 kids, it does change the dynamic of what potentially could be. And I think that it's a very real thing that a man could do that. And I think that does, though it's not a bad thing to have 3 children, I think you have to, when you step into that situation, you have to step into it knowing the difficulty of blended families. Like blended families, period, are difficult, let alone, depending on the number of people that are in it. Then I flipped it, and I also thought about this as someone who has been told by women who I've wanted to date that they wouldn't date me because of either what I do, what my vocation is, or, other reasons. So to think like I get also from her perspective of how, because in my mind when I read this, I'm like, I think I posted in the comment like that escalated real quick.
It did. That was gonna be what I'm coming back with, like this. Like
he was already holding that. That finger was on the trigger.
Yeah,
it just needed an eligible partner.
Yeah, which made me realize like this ain't really just, this is for her is something that, because she said it's happened multiple times, like she's not really thinking through the possibility that it could be something else. Like you didn't even give her a chance to say this. You just made an assumption and jumped to that, which is not fair to him and which is really not fair to her. Because part of the reason really why, I thought he probably saw you get mad, like blow up like this and was like, damn, the kids, I can't deal with you going up like this. Like this is too much for me. You just went like from 0 to 10 that quick. Like he offered a reason, which could have been a valid reason, and he could have, but he didn't get the chance to do that. It was, so in my mind, I'm like, yeah, bro, probably like, I made the right decision by working all these extra hours lately because, y'all know, if you heard, y'all know my biggest thing is emotional maturity. Like I saw a whole lot of immaturity in that response. So that's just my thing. Q, what you think?
So yeah, I think she came in real hot, real hard. You know what I mean? Like this was too much. And I also think that how hard she went determined how hard he went in his response. Although I honestly can agree with what he said, I think that because they were even in a conversation where in a type of interaction where he thought enough, whether it was true or not, to say, hey, I've just been busy. You know what I mean? I've been working a lot or whatever, because true enough, it might not have been the truth. It may not have been true. You know what I mean? He may not, because will also say we make time for the things that we really want to make time for. You know what I mean? We get breaks, we get lunches, we get off, we get rides home. You know what I mean? All kinds of things happen where if you want to talk to somebody, you're going to make a way to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with it. That was probably a nice way to say, I ain't got time for this, but how she responded to that unlocked a whole bunch of other stuff, which leads us to believe that we internalize, like in dating, it's a cold world out here. Like if anything I've noticed, it's a cold world, but it should be. Forever is a long damn time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out here and your intention is to date with forever in mind, whether it be a short-term or a long-term goal, you have to be that type of discerning. Everybody ain't gonna be it. Everybody shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? And the whole point is to find the person that fits. So I think sis is trying to force something that shouldn't be. And sis needs therapy before she goes into another relationship. Even for a man who wants to be with a woman or does not mind being a woman with children, all of this extra, the first time he tells her no, the first time there's a disagreement, there's a first time there's pushback or, any correction is being had, then it's going to be all this other what other men have done, or feel or miss any man, any person with that, because that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all.
Yeah. I think a person has to understand that you can desire, like I can desire you. I can think you're attractive, think you're a great person, all that kind of stuff. But then when we start getting into the nuances of what a relationship with you would be like, and now at that point, there's some things that could be really, could be a problem. Again, I've had a few people tell me like, hey, I like you, but I can't do the pastor thing. And I get that. I absolutely get it. And it annoys me. But at the same time, there are certain things that I couldn't do. Like if you do certain things, I'm like, yeah, I couldn't do that either. So I respect that. So I think we have to give people, like you said, the space to find out, like, does this real person really fit? Not just from a physical aspect or even an emotional aspect, but can our lives really fit together? Does being with this person like enhance my health? Does it enhance my, my mental? Does it, all of that stuff I got to think through and learn and discover and know before you're like, okay, now I want to take the steps, like you said, Q, to be with somebody forever. Because
I take it a step further from even eligibility. There's eligibility, and then if I started, I'm going to push into that thing even a little more graduated and accelerate and say suitability.
Absolutely.
Okay, which is even a more advanced course. But I'm a wordsmith, and I had to look up this term eligibility. Okay, so we all can be clear as to what it means. It says eligibility is a noun. The state of having the right to do or obtain something through satisfaction of the appropriate, emphasis, appropriate conditions. Appropriate. Appropriate is relative. Appropriate is subjective.
Yep.
Based on what's appropriate for me, may not appropriate for when. When I want hot water cornbread. I may only eat, can cook Jiffy. It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I heard the cornbread statement earlier, so I had to chime in.
So what she said? I said what I said.
I said what I said. Yeah.
I meant it.
So eligibility, is really suitability would even be better. And I think he was very tactful and holding her responsible for her comment too.
Yeah.
Was tactful in his response, in that regard. Like, don't make it what it's not, let's just stay focused on what's going on here. Okay, let's stay focused. And then we can have a real conversation. But she's speaking from, and in the devil's advocacy, I feel for sis because in being a woman who does not have children, I know based on it being one of the first 2 to 3, if not the first question I am asked when I'm petitioned by men, do you have kids? I know the relevance that has, and I know that makes me hold like some type of golden seat, like they put me on some pedestal. When they realize that I'm an enigma walking around here as fine as you are with no kids. Right? And so that makes my my stocks go way up. And so I feel for her with the 3, because I know it's real out there. And there's a reason why they asked that question, and it's not right. So she has, compounded trauma in that area, and she let it out. She like, you know what? She just, she didn't have it. She didn't have it. And so I get it. I feel for her in that regard. Still does not, absolve her of responsibility to be emotionally mature. But I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving beyond the scenario, how do we make it like, because we could say like in this instance, he really, let's just assume, let's make some assumptions here. Let's make an assumption that he really did ghost her because of the kids. Let's make that assumption. How do we, or should we even really communicate better that like, or is it possible to communicate well, like, I just don't think this is a good fit. Like, how do we communicate that better? Because I do think that even though her response was harsh, that some of the trauma could have been lessened a little had not just him, but previous people, whoever did, or previous person, whoever did this, had not ghosted her for the same reason. So I'm wondering if, like, as the other person in this, is there a better way to say it? Or would it have better just for him to be honest? Or did he really make the best move by just saying, I had to work and I didn't have time?
No. I think if you're trying to avoid a confrontation, you say, I was working, my bad, and hope for the best. That's for if you're trying to just get out of the situation, move on with life. Let's just be done with it. I think the to match your verbiage earlier, the emotionally mature response is to not get into a type of situation where someone feels that they're owed an unnecessary explanation as to why they don't fit. I think we have gotten into a place where we expect a whole lot more energy from people than we should. And we also don't know how to reserve our energy or, remove our energy in enough time so that it does not happen. Everybody ain't sane out here. Everybody ain't working with the same level of emotional maturity. We have to understand that. And while dating, a lot of the times you don't get the opportunity to know that about a person before you realize, I do not want to deal with this person. And because we have gotten so detached from empathy, we don't know how to tell people you are not what I'm looking for in such a way that does not crush people, because that is something that you should be able to do. Everybody doesn't want to date somebody with kids. You can be an amazing person. You know what I mean? You can be an amazing person, check all of the boxes, and someone still may not want to date you because they do not desire to date someone who has children.
Absolutely.
It's not discounting you. They are not a bad person because they don't want to date you specifically. They wouldn't want to date anybody that has children. You just happen to be the person this time. But we have gotten so far removed because of conversations like this, when we debate hypotheticals and random folks that we don't know, then we start to we internalize a lot of this and how we deal with real life people. But like I said earlier, like we should be able to state our preferences in a space that gives us that freedom to do that. I'm not out here trying to impress everybody. It's one person I'm trying to impress. If the 59 people on this post disagree with me, good. I have nixed 59 people from the potential. Yep. Like, I would much rather you identify that I am not the one. Do not waste my time and give me my walking papers. Let me cry in the car. My mama, she reminded me of something the other day. She said all her life, she said she gives whatever situation that done bothered her 3 days. She said even Jesus got up after 3 days. She said I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cuss, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna sing the songs, I'm gonna not eat, I'm gonna do all of the things, and then on that third day, I'm getting my ass up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I need us to all give everybody their 3 days and move on. You know what I'm saying? And not drag it out. Because when we drag it out, that's when stuff gets muddied and you get folks launching off on you, and you getting the wrath of all the men that's done come prior. You know what I'm saying? So like, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And I think that would help us get past this place of shooting in the dark, because that's what I think we're doing. Because we care, but we don't at the same time. We care too much about the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just want to know in the dough, man. Really.
You said what?
I said I want to know in the dough. I want to know in the dough. This should have been like an introductory conversation, like, some way, somehow. I think we should walk around. I think I ought to create a survey. In order that we wouldn't even have to exchange numbers. Like, can we exchange surveys? You know how we used to pass notes when we were in grammar school? You like me? You said what?
You like, hey, can you fill this out for me real quick?
Exactly. You got your survey, like everybody universally will have a survey, We'll
Yeah.
some way, somehow we make an app or something like that, and we'll put a chip in our skin, you know, or something. It's coming. And so we pull up our survey.
Mhm. It's coming.
And then, yeah, it's coming. And then, you know, that way, you know, it doesn't even have to go beyond this first assessment, you know what I'm saying, of the survey. If you listen, dating apps do it in order to know, you know what I'm saying, who to put into your
show
queue.
Compatibility.
They do it. They do assessment. So, you know, we ought not to, I'm with you, Q. We ought not to. Time is your greatest commodity. And it's one of the things that you will never get back. So please, you know what I'm saying, you have to be very intentional about how much of it that you're giving away, particularly at different stages of the game. And, you know, and you're not taking people for granted, and don't be afraid to speak up and have your rights. Even if somebody's going to have an attitude about it, they'll get over it. They will get over it. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? But you're helping them also as an adult to provoke them to grow up. I'm not going to be walking around on eggshells, you know what I'm saying, in my decade of my 40s, trying to preserve your feelings. This is my life.
Yeah.
And it's valuable. Okay. So depending on how much you value your life, I want you to tell me like a TI is. I'm gonna tell you like a TI is. In love, tactfully, mwah, love you. Listen, ain't no, this is business as far as I'm concerned until it's personal.
So
yeah.
Should read Mike's comment. Mike, interesting comment. Mike Albright says the issue having a preference of dating someone with kids relates to a person's happiness, and we all have a right to be happy.
Salud. Salud.
Thank you. I'm interested in hearing and understanding more about that, because though I don't think I understand it. I think we all want to be happy.
I think he's saying preferences are connected to happiness. Is that what he's saying?
Can relate to a person's happiness. I'm interpreting that as saying that a person who has kids feels like that if you don't want to date them because they have kids, you're keeping them from being happy. Is what I interpret that?
He's saying yes, it is what he's saying.
Okay. And so if he's saying what I said versus what Cicely said, I would say sure, but being with someone who doesn't want to have children, want to be with someone who has children, is not going to make you happy. Because in the long run, they're going to
be miserable.
No,
that responsibility. And so happiness is found when it's compatible, when our goals match, when when everything that we're doing matches, then I think that's when we find that happy space in the relationship.
Yeah. There are certain things I think we should be willing to compromise on. And that's a conversation that is just as important as preferences. And how much I'm willing to compromise to make this work is important. There are certain things that I just won't do. I have zero desire to do, period. And there are things that I have room to move. You know what I mean? And that is my personal space. Now, not to say that flexibility, life experiences may or may not change those things. That is to be worked out. But through the gate, like, you have to be willing to show and say, this is how, like, be honest. This is your life. These kids aren't going anywhere. You know what I mean? And if I don't want to fool with kids, that's a non-negotiable. That should be a non-negotiable for you. I think as parents that date, especially because this is ideally, like Cicely said, I'm guaranteed, I know that's one of the first questions that's asked, if not the first, because we discuss it so much, even in hypotheticals. So I know it's important to men. So if as mothers, because primarily it's mothers, if you're a single dad, this better be one of the questions you ask, because there's some women out here that's crazy too. But you must find out, engage the body language, the tone, like all of the things when you ask a person, how do you feel about a person who has children? Where do you see this going? This is a non-negotiable. There should be no compromise. Is you ain't, bruh. You know what I mean? That's just really how it has to be. That does not mean next week y'all taking family vacations and y'all one big happy family singing songs. That still means moderation. However, you need to know that when the time presents itself, this man's going to be all in to be in with your children. That is, oh, I'll work it. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see myself with a woman with children, but I mean, here we are. Bruh. No, well, here you were, because you are the weakest link. That's not going to work. And I think women should not be as offended when a man says, we should not be so invested in the ideal of what eligible, potential, all of that should be. Because, you know, look, we talk all the time about what a good guy is, and we'd be like, but all good guys aren't really all that good, though. You know what I mean? All guys that look like they should be daddies shouldn't be daddies. And we have to be less worried about the ideal of giving them one and more concerned with finding a suitable, you know what I mean, the one that fits your family. And I think that because we get so caught up on, he don't want to date nobody with kids. Good, okay. You ain't the one, you got kids. That means you are no longer an option for him. Move on along, sis. Like, unless you plan on doing something with them babies, I don't know why are you even frustrated about this? Move on. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you know, sometimes I think that let's also, because I know that as an unmarried without kids, that when I hear of a man with multiple kids, it's not necessarily the kids as much as I consider as what comes along sometimes with those kids.
Absolutely.
So those kids are attached to mothers, and he brought up the fact of the baby daddies. So sometimes it's not even just the kid that the other person is considering, but you know, the fathers that come along with it, or the mothers that come along with it. And that's the drama for the most part, you know, if they are dramatic or if it's not amicable or cordial, or you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you hear the horror stories of those, and that's what I really don't want to deal with. Because I can, you know what I'm saying, Cece love the kids, but some crazy chicks, oh no, we can't do those. Because then I'm gonna have to go west side, you know, and I'm trying to be safe.
I'm sorry, go ahead, I didn't cut you off.
No, go ahead. No, that's another component that it's important to consider.
Yeah, I would say, because I think for most men, it's. I mean, I can't say all, but I think for most men, at least in my experience, it's not necessarily the father if he crazy or not, but it's the financial responsibility.
That too.
It's it's more so like we do want you to have a good relationship, but like if he tripping, just gone, we don't need him, type of. But I'm gonna have to be in these children's life. It's also that that thing of feeling like you can't be the man in your own house because you don't want me disciplining your child, because this is his child, so I can't discipline them. And so this child is raised different. So now I gotta, it's that feeling for most men. I don't think it's necessarily even about that. I also think we can apply this to other areas too, like entrepreneurship. There are people who don't want to be with entrepreneurs. There are people who don't want to be with, people who work, corporate America. Like, so I think this really is not, this scenario is a scenario that's talking about kids. But I think we have to look at this in the context of anything. Some people don't want to be with people who have bad relationships with their parents. Like, it just depends. Like, there are a lot of different things that are looked at, and we have to really be honest up front. These are my expectations. This is what I want. And if I see something that I don't like or that I don't want, or that's, out of the realm of, Q, like you said, where I can be flexible. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he could have, again, I don't know, I think he could have just been like, listen, after getting to know you, I realized that, that our lifestyles just don't match. And I don't want to go pursue this any longer. And if she would have been like, it's because I got 3 kids, it's because the lifestyle that you live now fit with the lifestyle I live or where I'm trying to go.
Take what you want from this. Do what you want with it. Because that's what people do anyway. People take their interpretation of what we tell them all the time. That's similar to what Crystal was saying earlier about definitions. hating ain't hating, you know, toxic's not toxic, respecters, like however it fits in our periphery in that moment is how we interpret it. So, because he just said I was busy, and she brought the babies into it. Nobody mentioned babies until she brought it up.
That's exactly what she did.
Yep.
It's exactly what she did. It's the story she's been telling herself concerning her kids for some time. It didn't start it with him. So it's like, you know, she stigmatized her children, you know, having them to be the scarlet letter in her life, unfortunately.
I wonder if she uses that to them, if she says that to them. I wonder what that conversation is.
Woo. That's ugly.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Some of these comments say, Mike says, yes, our preferences are related to our happiness. Okay. John Redmond says, I think the only reason one ought not to date someone with kids is because of how they envision their life to be structured. I can get with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just not what you desire, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, because you could want, and the reason I say is, like, you could want 3 kids. You could just not want to be with somebody who got 3 kids about somebody else.
Already. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So structure-wise, yeah, I get what you're saying, John. I agree. I think it's just, yeah. All right.
I mean, you know, and I'm thinking about, like, I like to think broad spectrum. Someone could be great for her who could not have children and always desire children. He could be impotent, right? And so he can't have kids. She already come with kids. It's a perfect package because he already wanted them, and you know he can't provide them. So you know, so you gotta think bigger.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. As a mother, I would rather a man be upfront with me about my kids. I will not be upset at all. This is how some headlines happen. Some men want the woman and not the kids.
Yep.
That's real.
Yep.
That is real. That's definitely real. I was about to ask something. I lost it that quick. Keep going. Never mind.
Who's like,
yeah, wait for it. You know, you say something and it's really gone there. Like you send it off to the real realm at that point. So Cicely, I'm interested in, because I know that you chat with many different types of people who come to you with questions like this. So how do you help a person be better at sharing or understanding what true compatibility and sustainability really looks like, suitability really look like? Because you're calling that out has been like right back here as far as that suitability, because that is very, very important. You know, how willing someone is to, how ready someone is to just fit into your life, that suitability factor. How do you help someone understand that? And when you're having these sessions, when you talk to someone about this?
Yeah, in regard to how they are to communicate that to someone else, how they could. First and foremost, I mean, foundationally, you know, where I'm gonna come from. You got to know yourself, baby. Okay, first and foremost, you got to know yourself. You got to know where you're at. You got to know what you really want. You got to know what you believe you need. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not really what you need, you at least know what you think you need. Okay, let's start there. And then know how to articulate that at every opportunity, you know, more and more. It's such a vulnerable place for people to be placed in, and not enough people do it. I know they don't, because it's, you know, more. I'm sorry. I'm just going to, you know, say I think it's more raggedy relationships out here than healthy ones. And I think that's because of the questions that were not asked intentionally, based on an identity that I've already fortified with myself before I met you. So that suitability can only come because I really know myself, and I know what would be the best fit for me. Not that there's, you know what I'm saying, I have love for a number of men who I could never take home to introduce to my mama. Okay, and I love you for different reasons, right? But you're not suitable. And when I say, you know, for Cicely, suitable mainly means not for my today, for my future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we go into the future together? Can you hold the 10-year, 20-year into the future, Cicely.
Mhm.
Because if you consider me waiting now, it's gonna grow. It's gonna, do you have the capacity,
Yeah.
right, and the stock to be able to hold a woman of this, stature? And no, I'm saying this from the mouths of certain men. A lady your stature, women of your stature. I appreciate that. I've intentionally worked on that. This is just didn't fall on me.
Yeah.
Okay. So you gotta value yourself. I go back to that value. Love yourself enough to be able to communicate what it takes to keep my interest. Hello. What it takes to hold me. What it took, because you want me to stay in love with you, right? You want me to, be faithful. You want me to be loyal. You want me to be true. I want to be all of that. But we have to, choose intentionally in the door, not, in hope, not, in potential.
Wishing.
I didn't did you what you say, Win?
You're wishing.
No, wish was for 20s and some 30s. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not in wish no more, boo. I'm not in seeds of the tree. I need to see fruit on the tree. It's a difference. So yeah, that's what you gotta have, and not apologize about it. I mean, really, and you do, where you start with this before you take it into any prospective relationship. Do it with your friends. Do it with your family. If you learn how to liberate your voice and not have anyone tie your tongue or muzzle you or lock you up, where to make you afraid to, speak your heart, speak your mind, give your opinion or what have you, this is where you grow those muscles.
Yeah.
And so it's that much easier than when you get into a vulnerable space with a stranger, someone you don't know. I could care, listen, why do you care so much what this joker think about you?
It blows my mind.
You don't know me, boo. I might not know you beyond a week. Listen, this is me. This is what it is. Like it or love it. Do you love it? Do you know? Okay, it's okay. Nothing personal. Nothing personal. That's another thing, Q. Stop taking things so personally. Stop. Allow people to have the rights to what they want. You wouldn't want anybody to take your rights away from you.
Yep.
Don't control other people. You don't want them to control you. It's important. So just boundaries, standards, know what your core values are. Listen, Fire started been teaching core values over the last 5 years. And I bet 5 of y'all jokers can tell me what 5 core values are. I'm sick of it.
I think what you said is clear. Like it's you really should, if you know yourself well, if somebody not wanting to be with you is not, you don't take that as rejection. You take that as like, okay, it's clarity. Like to me,
it's clarity. Very good.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, remove you from my list of possibilities. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But if you're the type of person who believes like you can't get people, like to me, I think the game changer is. I ain't gonna give y'all all my secrets, but anyway, yeah. When you fellas, when you realize that you can do just about anything, the world changes. It's like, oh, like it's the we say as Prophet Cat Williams says, it's about the esteem of yourself.
Yeah. It's called self-esteem, boo.
Self-esteem. When you have a
get in line with your star player.
Yeah, when you have a healthy level of self-esteem, somebody telling you that it's like not the right one, keep it moving.
Yeah. And know that that's okay. I mean, this is how we grow, aging does not, unfortunately, equate growth, but we need to grow up. We need to grow up in our, emotional intelligence. We need to grow up in our mental fortitude. We need to grow up, in just the maturity of all things abounding. Just know that pain, rejection comes along with life. That's life stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's people stuff. And rejection is subjective as well. You could look at it as rejection. Like I said, Wynn looks at it as clarity. It's two different vantage points. It does not have to bruise you. So
I be feeling bad.
Yeah, you gotta practice. You gotta practice.
You didn't want me. Anyway, woo!
What is that, man?
They just don't know. Anyway, I digress. So yes.
He's so silly.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
10 till. Let's go. So we got final words. Final words. Here, you can go first, Cicely. You might as well tell the people about Dear Firestarter as well.
You gotta remind me. I know what I need to do.
Listen. Wait, hold on. Listen.
Speaking of, okay, just needing to know better communication skills or confidence or courage or your identity or what have you, this is what Dear Firestarter was formulated around, the Dear Firestarter letter. So if you have just, questions or a trial or a circumstance, we are here with the Scoop team, with the Firestarter on Passion Talk segments, offering complimentary coaching. You're not going to get anywhere else but on Scoop. Okay. So I don't even do comp sessions no more. Okay. So you're not going to get it anywhere else. All right. So this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. You need to write me at firestarterpassion@gmail.com. You need to answer these 3 questions. 1, what is the situation? Just describe the scenario to me. Just raw, in detail as much as possible. 2, what have you done already to try to help the situation? And 3, how do you think I could assist you? And then we're going to have a segment around it on during the Scoop on the Passion Talk second Tuesday. Now, again, you don't have to come online live to walk through this with me. You could just submit your letter and that I could use it and then speak to your situation anonymously if you don't want to come on and be coached live. Okay, if you're shy, you don't want people in your business like that, that's all good. I can let you know when I'm going to address your issue, and then you can be on line, and then you can, get coaching directly, just like that. So either way, we got, we flexible, we got options. Listen, we trying to, do it here for you. Don't say Black folks don't never give you nothing, okay? We try here to help the people with the problems. So if you stay in a bind, it's your fault. Write to the Firestarter today. Firestarterpassion@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. Give me something to do.
Hey.
All right. Anything else that the people need to know about?
For me, we got a lot coming up, y'all. Y'all will be hearing about it as it come down the pipeline. But yeah, Firestarter, we going up, we're going a little higher. So that's what we do.
All right, cute.
No. Again, y'all heard me earlier. We're the soundtrack generation, okay? I probably got a song or a movie line for everything that we say. Y'all know I'm still on my break, so I have no Elegance by Design news. We are on break. So that is what we're doing as far as that's concerned. So I'm going to use this week too, because we've been talking about healing, and I think the main thing that I got from what Cicely just said was you got to be willing to be honest with yourself. And a lot of the times, especially when it comes even to the counseling sessions, to just opening up to getting that assistance, it is life-changing. So because we are so heavy on the healing around here at the Scoop, I want to implore you. I'm using my segment to ad segment to boost my sis, Kelly Kell, who has started a business that is Hustle Mommy, MAMI, which I think is hella cute. Hustle Mommy is her page on Facebook, so please look her up. But she is currently promoting her heavy on the healing and heavy on the hustle line, so you can get yourself hoodies. I know it's getting ready to warm up. Get you a hoodie, get you a t-shirt. She does have t-shirts, cute different colors, all kinds of stuff. And this is the first 2. These are the first 2 designs of a growing line. So I thought this was a very aligned advertisement with what we were talking about on tonight, because a lot of the times how ready we are for love is really, really dependent upon how much work we've done with self. You know what I mean? We're told from the time we're little bitty that we're supposed to be with somebody. And rarely are we taught what it takes to really sit with ourselves. So when you make the decision to be heavy on healing the stuff that has broken you, you can really, really find the space to grow that thing and really be a viable partner, a suitable partner for lifetime, forever type of love. And so yeah, go support my sis. You know, we talk about manifesting and saying those mantras. Being heavy on the healing and heavy on your hustle is one of those ways to do it. So go support her. Hustle Mommy is how you can go on and get your goodies.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. So again, I want to reiterate, make sure you're following us on all of our social media. So on Facebook, it's at Real Scoop Show. On Instagram, it's Scoop Radio Show. And on YouTube, it is the Scoop Radio Show. Yeah, make sure you follow us so you don't miss anything that we got going on. And of course, if you're not following, make sure you follow the page too. Once again, y'all join me this Friday evening. Like I said, if you boot up, bring you and your boo, get your glasses and your dinner, and we're gonna have some fun talking about relationships, all aspects of relationships. So join me Friday. If you have not registered, go to the event. I'll put it in the comments, the link in the comments, but go and just click that you're going, and I will send you the private Zoom link where we're going to be meeting. So it's Friday night.
Undisclosed Zoom location.
The undisclosed Zoom location. Again, if you think we're about to have Bible study, I just want to warn you, that ain't what this is. That ain't what this is. So just so you know, don't be like, oh my God. That's what we talking about. So we talking about grown people stuff.
Leave your pearls in the jewelry box.
Yeah.
There will be no clutching of the pearls.
Absolutely. So other than that, good show tonight. Cicely, thank you for being here. It was good having you. Yes.
Always. I love y'all.
Good.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Have me again.
No
I love this. What I'm supposed to be doing. I'm tired of teaching y'all. Y'all act like y'all ain't learning nothing.
Now, see, we needed scratch. We need to be able to pick your brain and make it apply that thing. That's all. I'm just
saying, Scoop Nation, y'all better be applying this stuff, okay? Have me working slaving hours over some content. I ain't got time for it. I'm trying to get chose.
She's about to reclaim my coaching and her time. She said I need to redirect his energy.
I'm reclaiming it. I love y'all. I will see you in April. Thank you for having me.
Love you too.
Of course, thank you. Also, I want to say to everybody, y'all listen. So not last week, the week before, y'all did it again. Like y'all set a new record for views. So we had 10,500 views after last. So like for one show. So shout out to I said to Brandon, who was the guest that week, for co-hosting that week. I want to say thank you again to our viewers in South Africa, our viewers in the UK, our viewers in liberal Kansas, our viewers in Prairie View, Texas, our viewers, that's where Kels is from, liberal Kansas. Okay. Our viewers on the south side of Chicago, our viewers in Oklahoma City, in Tulsa, and Cincinnati, like we're everywhere. Like we appreciate all of you. Richardson, Texas, like we appreciate you, and we see the numbers. So thank you very, very, very much. Please continue to share the show. Please continue to email us your questions and your comments. We love doing this, and we love doing it for you. So hope y'all have a good rest of your week. Because I know I am, even though it's a busy week. Lord Jesus, it's a busy week. But it's going to be a good week.
Stay with me.
It's going to be a good week. Yeah, it's a busy week. it's Holy Week too, so it's a business. Anyway.
You could just leave it, I should just stand it while you standing here. But you say you're with me, and then you try to diss me. So I try to keep it low when you knock me to the floor, cause I don't wanna cry my tears. Would you believe this love is forever gone? And would you take this long sweet and pull it together?
I'm about to go sleep.
You just can't see in my eyes, cause I'm gonna try. Baby, I treat you right. Just give me one more try. This is goodbye. This is goodbye.
Good night.
Friday. See y'all later.